so I want to talk to you about this idea of either starting an agency or remaining a solo freelancer. Now, I actually did a coaching call inside of my membership community called the Growth Society. If you're interested in learning more about that, if you want to get mentoring to grow your freelance or agency business, I will put a link in the description of this video. But we talked about what's the best business model. And to be honest with you, the best business model is whatever it is that you want to do. So there's pros and cons to staying a solo freelancer versus doing an agency model. So number one, what is your lifestyle goal? Okay, well, how do you want to be living your life? Because that's going to determine how you should structure your business. If you want to have a business where you're hands off and maybe you're just in charge of branding and marketing the business, then I would say an agency model is the best fit. So this is where you're going to find clients, whether you're going to offer marketing, social media, virtual assistant services. It could even be AI automation services that you offer. And you're going to find clients and then you're going to match them with your team. You're going to assign virtual assistants to work on it. And I teach people how to do that as well. Or you can find other subcontractors, freelancers to work underneath your agency. And this is for someone who is okay with splitting the revenue that comes in. So you have to be okay that if you charge the client $1,500, that money's not going to go 100% to you. So it's like a mindset shift you need to have, and you have to be okay with splitting that revenue up with whoever it is that you hire. Now, the benefit is that you don't have to work so many hours in this business model. You can just go find clients and then get the project work done, and you can work like less than 20 hours a week and you can still make a good amount of money. Now, if you don't want to do that, then you can say a freelancer. As a freelancer, you are going to do all of the client work. So if you have 4 clients or 5 clients per month, most of your time is going to be servicing them. So they're going to be contacting you directly for questions. They may send you emails during the week, so you have to be ready to respond to them. Now, here's a cool thing. You can actually kind of have like a hybrid between a freelancer and an agency, which is a one-person agency. This is where you use AI automation tools. So if you offer social media management, content creation, lead generation, even website design, you can use AI to automate all this work. And so you don't have to do that much work. So you don't even have to really hire people because you can just use AI automation. So there is a middle ground between both, but you have to think about your lifestyle. So if you decide to be a one-person agency and you don't want to hire anybody, then whenever the client has questions, whenever the client has an issue, they're going to contact you. And so you have to be ready to respond to them. And when I started my business, I started out as a solo freelancer social media manager. So anytime the client needed something, I was always checking my phone, checking my emails, making sure I was responding to them because I had to make sure that the client was happy. And so that's why I started an agency, because I didn't want to have to be the one that always had to respond to the client. So I hired a virtual assistant, and that was the person who responded to all the client emails, answered client questions, communicated with the client on the deadlines, due dates, when we were going to have the work done. So I could remove myself out of that and live my life. So if you want more of a freedom-based business where you're not glued to your laptop so much, you may want to go more in the agency route. That doesn't mean you're not going to do work. You're just going to focus on more CEO tasks, more leadership stuff. You're going to be delegating most of your tasks. You're going to be focusing on sales. Your job is to go get clients. And then you're going to bring them to your VA team that you hire, and then they'll do the work. So there's no right or wrong. It's about what do you want for your life? How do you want to be spending your time? This is how you determine everything from your pricing, your business model, how you want to structure things, the tools you're going to use. With me, I try to automate my lead generation. I have different sales funnels. So people go to my website and they click on a link, they'll get into my email newsletter. And then from there, I'm selling my different offers that I have for done-for-you services, digital products. I have different offers that I sell. And most of it relies on automation, okay? And I use lots of AI. So I can have a very lean business with high profit margins because I have these different systems in place. I decided that I don't want to have a business that I have to be there all the time, constantly working 24/7. Now, that doesn't mean I don't do work. Obviously I do work, but if I need to take time off, right, I can do that because I set my business up a certain way. And that is really important, that you have the right systems in place so that if you want to take time off, if you want to do something else, you want to spend time with your family, if you want to travel, your business is still generating revenue for you. What type of lifestyle do I want? How much money do I want to make? How much time do I want to spend per week on my business? Do I want to delegate tasks? Do I want to lead people? Do I want to manage people, right? With an agency, you have to be willing and ready to delegate and manage people. You also have to be a leader to them. You have to kind of mentor the people that you hire, and you have to set the tone for your agency. Now, if you create systems, this is easy to do, right? You're going to have a system where you're going to meet with your team members, you're going to check their work, you're going to make sure they're doing the right thing. And as you get more clients, as you make more money, you can even hire a virtual assistant who's going to act as a project manager, and that person's going to manage all the contractors or freelancers or other virtual assistants that you hire. So you can get someone to be your operations person, and they're running the operations of your business, right? There's different levels to that. You can have a project manager, then you can have an operations manager. They kind of overlap, but they're a little bit different, and it just depends more so as to how much responsibility that person has. Now, I want to share with you a tool that I use to run my business, my agency business, my consulting business, and to sell digital products. I use a tool called Go High Level, and it automates everything for me. And I use it for my calendar appointments. So if I book a sales call with a potential client, I have them fill out a form on my Go High Level website. Then it syncs to my calendar. And then when they sign up, they're going to get reminders that they have to meet with me. It also has text message features. So if someone books an appointment, I can also text them to follow up. So that ensures that when someone books a discovery call with me, they show up to the call. Now, I also make sure that people fill out a form so that I can ask them screening questions about, to see if it's a good fit, because you don't want to have a discovery call with just anybody. I also have digital products that I sell, and I use Go High Level as the sales page. I use a checkout cart from Go High Level. These are all things you can have within one system. It also does email marketing. So when people opt into like a free ebook or a guide, they get a series of emails. And so I have a whole workflow that automates this entire process, and then I sell them my digital products. So if that's something that you want to do, if you want to automate your business, I do have a link to Go High Level in the description of this video. Also, if you want to get my mentorship, I have a community called the Growth Society where we have weekly group coaching calls. There's a bunch of courses on how to find clients, systems, templates to help you get clients and grow your business. We have templates for pricing your services, email scripts so you can reach out to potential clients. I teach you how to do social media management so that you can do this for clients and offer that as a service. There's Facebook ads training, there's funnel training. So definitely make sure you check it out. We'd love to have you in there. There's a link to that also in the description of this video. All right, so make sure you subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next video.